over on Disney Plus, arriving on Wednesday the 8th of May. It is the music documentary Let It Be, and here's a clip.
Morning, Rich! How are you this morning?
The Beatles, rehearsing, recording, relaxing, philosophizing, creating. The Beatles, live in a new motion picture.
Is it their new record?
Let it be.
Well, Beatles fans will know that Peter Jackson, the Lord of the Rings director, brought us The Beatles Get Back in 2021, which was an exhaustive series about the Beatles, and it was based on footage that had been filmed by director Michael Lindsay Hogg. And of course, director Michael Lindsay Hogg released the film Let It Be, which was following the band as they recorded the album of the same name in 1970. And it was sort of a bit overshadowed because shortly after it was released, the band split up. So this is introduced by Jackson and Lindsay Hogg having a chat before they show the film, which Jackson has restored, so it looks amazing. And yeah, even if you're not a Beatles fan, it's well worth a watch. I mean, obviously it's not as exhaustive as Get Back, but it's really interesting. And I mean, I know that kind of Yoko Ono has unfairly been sort of demonised in terms of the breakup of the Beatles, and I don't want to go down that road at all. But I do find it quite odd watching Let It Be, seeing the group all sort of sitting around jamming and she's sitting in with them. It just looks really weird to me. But anyway, that's by the by. So yes, lots, classic songs coming together. Also, there's lots of chat. One or two kind of moments of irritation, like the famous moment where Paul McCartney is trying to tell George Harrison how he wants the guitar part, and Harrison just says, well, if you just tell me what to play, I'll play it, and if you don't want me to play, I won't play at all. So yeah, some good stuff. And they're actually, for most of it, they seem to be having a good time, and of course the conclusion is the famous rooftop concert on top of the Apple building in London, which was their last live performance. So yeah, you're going to see, I mean, it's quite fun seeing them just mucking about jamming as well, like doing classic rock and roll tracks or doing kind of funny versions of their own songs. So you're going to see songs like I've Got a Feeling, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, The Long and Winding Road, Let It Be. It's good stuff. It looks great. And yeah, I really enjoyed watching it again in its restored format with a bit of chat from the two directors to set it up. What did you think, Hannah? Are you a big Beatles fan?
I like the Beatles, but then I say this time and again, don't we, that actually these kind of documentaries, these music documentaries, whether you kind of like the music or not, I mean, it helps, obviously, and there's an interest, but I just always find them massively interesting because they always find new footage or, in this instance, kind of, it's really polished, isn't it? And listening to people that were there at the time talking and seeing how it all worked. We think we know them, and then you really get to go behind the scenes, if you like, and that's kind of what you're doing here. And we just saw the very polished version of the Beatles, or not so polished at times, but this gets sort of scratches beneath the surface. And even if you don't like their music, you're going to find your foot tapping, aren't you, on the floor, and kind of it just gets you going. It's part of history. I absolutely love these music documentaries. I really do.